The coronavirus does suck, but we can thrive and not just survive through this. Gang, today I want to talk about toxic worry and how to deal with it, how to deal with stress in your life. 3 easy steps. So my story goes back about 3-4 years ago when I first took over TDS. It was very stressful. I was learning to be a leader. I had to lead 40 to 60 people. I was living with my partner at this point, and we were fighting a lot. And so there was about 2 weeks of just massive, massive stress. And at this point, I was working hard on having higher standards for myself and not slacking off, and some emails not being answered, just a bunch of things. And I'm just collecting this in my body, in my mind, all this stress. And about 2 weeks into it, I go over to my mentor's place, my business partner, my boss, and he can see like my energy is totally different. And all he says was literally, "Are you okay?" And out of nowhere, I start crying. I'm crying in front of this man. It just started coming out like uncontrollable wailing. I can only remember 1 or 2 other times in my life I've cried that hard. And I collapsed into a chair, and for like 3-4 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 words are coming out for me. I'm just not making sense. I'm just crying because I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and I felt lonely and not understood and isolated, and feel like the whole world is collapsing around me and nobody understands me. I just felt like I was dealing with it okay. And that moment when he asked me, "Are you okay?" all the walls came down. I don't remember what he said. I do remember that after I cried, I felt a little bit better. And then he's like, "Dude, just go home. Go sleep, and you got to talk to your partner." So I drove home, and I lied down on my couch, and it was like 1 p.m. or something. And then as soon as I lied down on the couch, I just fell asleep. My body just shut down. And then I woke up to the sound of my partner coming home. And she came home, and I'm scared. I'm scared because I don't want to put pressure on my partner. I don't want to disappoint her. So she's like, "Hey, how are you? I did some shopping, blah, blah, blah." And I'm silent. And I'm always talking, so silence for me is very weird. She's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then I start whimpering again. She runs up to the couch. She goes down on her knees. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I just start letting it out again. How I'm so lost. I mean, I feel frustrated in the relationship because I feel like she doesn't understand me, but I haven't really communicated anything for her to understand me much. And at school, I'm overwhelmed, and I'm making all these, and just all started releasing. She kind of hugged me, and it just felt so nice being able to open to someone. I didn't realize how heavy that weight was until I started to release it. And so here's the thing about worry, toxic stress. It survives because of isolation. You see, we build up this isolation, loneliness in a dark corner, and we put ourselves there. It can only thrive in that kind of environment. So here's the thing. I realized in that moment, and over again, as I try to be more vulnerable and more open to the people that care about me, and sometimes to even strangers, that vulnerability is a superpower. And that the worst consequence of toxic worry is you just start to feel less and less like you belong in your own life. You feel more lonely, and you feel less accepted. And I believe in my heart that the world would be a better place if we all felt like we belong. Because here's the thing. Regular worry is a good thing. Short bursts of worry, stress, can help us grow, can challenge us to go to the next level. But toxic, constant, daily worry, even in micro doses, will poison you. So here are the 3 steps in order to deal with toxic worry. 1, you have to talk to someone. Anyone. As scary as it is, you have to talk to someone. Because when you shed light on that isolation, like a cockroach, it gets scared of the light, because that light is other people saying, "Hey, I want to be here for you. I never even knew you're suffering. What can I do? What do you need?" We all need that. 2, get your facts straight. A lot of our worries are based on just a lack of understanding. For me, when I was stressed in those 2 weeks, I felt like nobody understood me and I'm failing everywhere, but I wasn't. Yeah, I was making a ton of mistakes. And sure, there were some people that I cared about that I wanted their approval, but I created these stories. And that's one of the things that happens with worry. We sometimes overemphasize the extremeness of what we're in. So go research, go get the facts. Maybe you've been struggling with depression, clinical depression. Maybe it's ADHD like I have, who knows? But go research, get the facts, what the situation is. Maybe it's a struggling business. Go get the facts. What can the government do? What kind of support can you get? Get the facts. And 3, make a plan. How are you gonna deal with this? In that story that I told you, what were the 3 steps? 1, I couldn't control, but I just bawled in front of my boss. I told him all these things that I'm struggling with. And he embraced me. He shed light into that isolation that I put myself into. 2, looking back, I remember him telling me, dude, you're not alone. There are other people and you're blowing things out of proportion. You're not ruining everything. You are missing knowledge and you have to learn through it through mistakes. And all these other things he's telling me, those were the facts. And 3, when I came home, I made a decision to talk to my partner. I made a plan. I also made a plan not to keep bottling it up because it was unhealthy for me. It's not healthy to put all that toxic worry on yourself because you feel like you don't belong. And that's one of the worst feelings ever, to not feel like you belong in your own life. So those are the 3 steps to dealing with toxic worry. Gang, I hope it gave you some insight. And the biggest of all is always step 1, talk to someone because that vulnerability will set you free. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time for another video of how to thrive and not just survive. Bye.